Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another WWE predictions video. We are doing the predictions video for the November 1st edition of Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, quickly, guys, before we go ahead and get into it, I do want to point out today we are not in the normal predictions area. Currently, I am not home, but I was able to bring the figures. Luckily, they did not add any more matches on SmackDown last night, at least that I know of. I'm not quite sure. I did not catch it. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, currently we have 4 matches on the card. I'm going to go to give you my predictions, guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. We're going to go ahead and get you my quick predictions. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. And the first matchup on the card, guys, is the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match featuring Rusev, Penta, and the Intercontinental Champion, as well as the AAA Mega Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Now, this matchup, I'm very excited they put it on Saturday Night's Main Event and not just on a random episode of Raw. It proves that random TV feuds can still make it onto these pay-per-views, even if it is just the Saturday Night's Main Event. It'll still be really sweet. I expect this match to be really good. WWE has 2 hours, and like I said, as far as I know, only 4 matches on the card, meaning that this match should hopefully get a solid 15, maybe even 20 minutes. I don't know about that far, but anyhow, guys, for the predictions, I think of anything, this is the easiest match to predict all night. I don't see either Rusev or Penta knocking off Dirty Dom. I believe this is Dominic Mysterio's first pay-per-view championship defense since SummerSlam, so it's been a minute since the Intercontinental Championship has been defended on a PLE, but I'm excited. I think this matchup might be my favorite match. Looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and predict Dirty Dominic Mysterio to retain the Intercontinental Championship and probably go on to do something with John Cena, just judging by the rumors. Not really quite sure, but yeah, I'm going to predict Dirty Dominic Mysterio to retain here tonight. Guys, the next matchup on the show is for the WWE Women's Championship. It is the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton, defending against the newly turned heel, Jade Cargill. Now, this matchup I'm very excited for also, considering that we are finally getting another rematch between the two. Their first match at SummerSlam was a huge dud, in my personal opinion. But like I said, with all this extra time Saturday Night's Main Event is seemingly going to get, I think they could finally put out a good match. Tiffany Stratton, her last couple matches has been questionable, to say the least. But anyhow, I'm very excited for this one. But let's go and get into the prediction. For the prediction, I'm going to predict that this title does actually change hands, and I feel really bad. I've been saying this since WrestleMania. It seems like I always count out Tiffany Stratton. I put her down against Stephanie McMahon at Crown Jewel. I put her against Jade. I said she was going to lose to Jade at SummerSlam. I said she was going to lose the title the whole way back at WrestleMania against Charlotte, but this time I think I'm serious. If Tiffany retains, that's cool. The title reign continues, but I think this is the time to put the championship on Jade Cargill. Let Jade go on a heel run. Let her do her thing. Tiffany Stratton could get a couple more rematches. But then afterwards, I think it's time we send her over to Monday Night Raw. Tiffany Stratton's kind of done everything on SmackDown. But yeah, guys, and feuded with everybody on SmackDown, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Jade wins here. She could go on to feud with, I'm really not quite sure, maybe Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and say that Jade Cargill wins the WWE Women's Championship. The next match on the card will actually probably end up main eventing, but I'm putting it here just because I feel like the World Heavyweight title match is going to have a little bit more to talk about. But like I said, guys, last night I did miss Friday Night SmackDown. However, when I opened up the Wikipedia page this morning of Saturday Night's Main Event to see if they added any more matches, I saw this stipulation was if Cody Rhodes gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the championship. Now, personally, for me, I feel like this kind of spells out who's going to win, because I don't think I've ever seen that kind of stipulation before where if they get disqualified or counted out, they lose the title, that the champion has actually lost the title. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 rare occasions where that has happened, but I'm going to say, unfortunately, if this was any other show and any other match, Drew McIntyre should and possibly would win. But since we are at Saturday Night's Main Event and we're already getting a guaranteed World Heavyweight title change later in the night because of the title being vacant, I do think Drew McIntyre, unfortunately, tonight is not his night. He will not be winning the championship. Cody Rhodes will continue his reign. I'm really not quite sure who he feuds against next. Maybe he enters the War Games match against the Vision. I've heard some people say for him to fight Brock Lesnar. I doubt he's going to fight John Cena one last time, so that'd be a huge waste of a match. Other than that, maybe Aleister Black if they keep building him and Zelina Vega up. But anyhow, yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say Cody Rhodes knocks off Drew McIntyre here. He goes on to really do whatever. I hope his reign doesn't continue. I'm not really this big fan of his second title reign. I believe this is only his second title defense, unless you include the one on SmackDown. But yeah, guys, I'm going to predict that Cody Rhodes retains once again. Not that I want him to. If Drew McIntyre wins, I'll be very happy. But I'm going to predict Cody Rhodes to retain the championship here tonight. And guys, the final matchup we're going to go ahead and predicting for tonight is going to be for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. It is going to be CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Now, quickly, guys, before we get into the predictions, I don't know if I'm the only one who thought this, but I know they just did it on Raw a few weeks ago in an uncontested matchup, but I was praying and hoping that they were going to add LA Knight to this matchup in some form. Whether or not he'd be a special guest referee, I think that would be great. Whether or not he was a third man and a triple threat, whether or not they made the Battle Royal for the championship. However, though, I do not like the fact that it is just Jey and CM Punk. But anyhow, guys, this is our predictions. This is not where we go on rants, even though we do rant sometimes here. But this is predictions, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the predictions. And this matchup might be one of the hardest ones to predict, simply for the fact that it is vacant, meaning that necessarily it's anybody's game here. You know, one guy isn't already having a solid reign. It's just, where does WWE want to go? Do they want to put it back on Punk, give him his first proper world title run? And I don't even know how many years, considering I don't even think he defended his AEW title once. Or do you give it back to Jey Uso, who continues, at least in person, to be the most over guy in professional wrestling? However, I'm really not quite sure where to go on this, because I immediately do want to say Punk. But I've heard so many rumors that Becky Lynch is going to come out and continue what Seth Rollins was doing and cost Punk the world title. I've seen people say Jey is going to be the new leader of the Vision and that we are going to finally get that Jey Uso heel turn. I've heard people say Jimmy Uso is going to get involved and cost Jey his match and Punk's going to win. I've heard people say that Braun Breaker is going to get involved and everybody's just going to get taken out. And to be honest, I think that could possibly happen. I don't want it to happen. I think that'd be a big waste of time for it to happen. But overall, though, if we're just going for pure accuracy, guys, I'm going to have to give the title to CM Punk. But I feel like there's a big opportunity here to give heel Jey Uso that big-time title win. We haven't seen Roman Reigns since Crown Jewel. I doubt he'll make an appearance here. I really doubt it that he'll actually make an appearance. But, you know, it could, possibly 0.0000001% chance happen. I'm not actually going to predict that, though. But if we're going in terms of accuracy, though, guys, I am going to go ahead and give it to CM Punk. It is his time. He got his moment at SummerSlam. It got robbed. It really does suck what happens to Seth Rollins, but it seems like CM Punk this was just destined for CM Punk to win the title. It is kind of ironic that, the man who faked an injury to take the title from Punk actually got injured and Punk would win it back. I feel like that'd be very ironic. I feel like in some ways that'd be just an instant karma for CM Punk to finally win his title. But I'm going to go ahead and predict, unless it ends in a no contest. If it ends in a no contest, I'm still going to give myself the point. But I'm going to predict that if it doesn't end in a no contest and we do get a proper winner, that it will be CM Punk. Yeah, guys, here are my predictions for the November 1st edition of WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. Once again, just a quick rundown. I'm going to say Jade Cargill beats Tiffany Stratton. Dominic Mysterio retains against Rusev and Penta. CM Punk beats Jey Uso for the vacant World Heavyweight title. And Cody Rhodes overcomes the odds of that stipulation to knock off Drew McIntyre. And real quick, guys, I do want to say I've heard some people say the fact that we might get a U.S. Open challenge here. Ilya Dragunov will walk out and defend the title. And to be honest, that would be super sweet. It really adds some mystery and kind of illusion to that Open challenge stipulation that even if their champion isn't booked, that they'll still come out. But unfortunately, though, it is really hard. I don't have the Ilya Dragunov figure here. Or I might do a bit with it. But it's really hard to tell. I don't really think we would do it, but WWE currently does only have 4 matches. So maybe they do it. And if they do it, there's Penta, not Penta, excuse me. I meant to say Phoenix. They run Phoenix back. Tommaso Ciampa, I did see the little thing that they did last night with Ciampa. Axiom could do it, but until then, though, there is not a current announced match, so I'm not going to predict that. But these are my last predictions, guys. go ahead, leave your predictions down in the comments below. I do apologize for this being a shorter video. Unfortunately, there's not too much to talk about. I mean, there was only 4 matches. And I do really expect a good show out of this. I'm not expecting like Lesnar or Cena or Reigns to show up, but I do expect this to actually be a decent show. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Thanks again.